the essence of yourself. To know that wealth is temporary and ephemeral. I said in one poem, ephemeral rich, rich ephemera, ephemeral rich. But I hit the ephemeral. Forget the play, the recorded stage, the recorded age. Yet do not take it too literal. Play on the lateral and flatter somehow. But if you deceive someone of your true essence, sometimes you betray yourself, which I have done, and I still sometimes do. They call it mood swings. Sometimes it's what you call how you modulate, modification. Boy, sometimes you need to switch and go to another nation and show why you are and who you are. Try not to be topical, try to be eternal. Try to be something that you're not. Untie the knot of what you thought you once were. It's called reinvention of the self. Show your ego. Show what you are. Celebrate your existence and have nothing. To know who are your true friends. Sometimes there are none, just intense acquaintances. And sometimes you know deep down that sometimes you have to look up. And yes, and yes, and yes, and yes, and yes. Boy, to sometimes be unpredictable and contrived, you need to contrive something. You need to show something. I used to walk around in circles and finding something at one. Yes, you stretch your neck, stand erect of an heroic posture. You look to the mirror and shine. Rewind again, rewind and say, why was I so foolish? Why was I so idiotic in something that I was trying, but then there is no try, there's only do. Interrupt yourself, disrupt yourself and you say, what is the self? There is no self. Sometimes you agree, sometimes you disagree. Sometimes you talk back to yourself. Sometimes it's just how you go. It's how you flow. It's how you seem to seesaw. The cartload. The spontaneous, what did I just mean? What did I just say? To roll the eyes and say again, the writing process. To not before. I'm a poet, and it takes a while to admit that. You stay there. You lock it up, the doors. You lock the door and you perceive yourself somehow how others perceive you. You look to philosophy and poetry and say, I am sometimes a poet. And then you are the poet by the repetition and consistency. Consistency is the key that unlocks the doors of perception. Yes, Blake. Another name. The cosmic, the quantum, the physical, the metaphysical. All the different selves again, contradicting, electing the next second, where I decide, decisiveness. I have decided. I have divided. Night and day, you could say. And then somehow you're convoluted and say, this is not quite him, Boy, somehow you say to yourself, what am I saying? Literature. I'm just trying to find something original. But sometimes it doesn't work out that way. It doesn't work out that way. No, it doesn't work out that way.